In this video, I'm going to share two of my personal experiences to demonstrate to you that no matter what physical action you take, it is still the assumption that is going to manifest. This is why I have a whole playlist where I talk about not taking action while manifesting. You can check that out after you watch this video. I'm also going to share with you two other stories, one from Neville Goddard and another one from Joe Dispenza, simply to, again, demonstrate this same idea that physical action has no power over your assumptions. If you want a real result, real change, and lasting change, you need to work with your assumptions, and this is super important, and you will see in a moment why. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can of course book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I would love to help you with anything that you are manifesting. You can also join my Master Manifesto Mastermind group, which is a consistent group coaching in a very supportive community. In that case, if you want to join that, please send me an email from the link from my booking page. Actually, the link is in the description box below. And let's talk about action, non-action, assumptions, etc. So years ago, many years ago, someone asked me to do a no-carb challenge. This person said, I'm eating too much, I'm gaining too much weight, I've started eating too much sugar, so I'm going to do a 10-day no-carb challenge. Do you want to join me? Back then, I thought this could be good for me. Why not? Again, back then, I had this assumption that carbs are bad, they make you fat, you need to remove the carbs in order to lose weight, etc. This is all, you go to scientists, this is all scientifically proven. So we started on the same day, ended on the same day, and ate no carb for 10 days straight. It was the worst thing. I don't recommend. It was horrible. The experience itself was just hard and horrible, and I love carbs. And it was just, I was looking forward to ending this horrible challenge that I got myself into. But since I had the assumption that carbs are bad and sugar is bad and it makes you fat, and when you remove these things you lose weight, and that is, by the way, the only way to lose weight, etc. What happened was that in 10 days I lost 4 kilograms, which is a lot. It's a lot. Usually what you hear normally here and there, they say using 1 kilogram a week is great result. I lost 4 kilograms in 10 days. And of course, I don't know what I lost, whether it was liquids or fat or whatever. I have no idea. But, I thought, I suffered for 10 days, but I lost 4 kilograms. How wonderful. But I was never going to do that ever again because it was super uncomfortable. So in the meantime, I'm learning manifestation, and I'm studying Neville Goddard, and learning that everything is an assumption, everything is a manifestation of our assumptions, etc. I come across Neville's story where he interacts with Abdullah. Abdullah was his friend and his mentor. He learned all that he then taught us from this wonderful man called Abdullah. And he had this conversation which Neville mentions this in several of his texts. Abdullah was a man who could do anything. Like, he was living his life however he wanted, because knowing that he's God and he can just create whatever assumption he wants to experience and then that will manifest, he just lived however he liked. And Abdullah was someone who would eat and drink without any limitations. He would drink alcohol at every meal and eat everything. And if I'm not mistaken, Neville at the time was probably vegetarian. I'm not sure about this, but I know that he didn't eat a lot of many things. And he said to Abdullah, how can you eat like that? You eat and drink, and how can you that much and all that? How can you be healthy and vibrant when you eat and drink like that? And Abdullah said to him, by the way, you can't do this. With your assumptions, you have quibbles. He called it quibbles, meaning limiting beliefs about food in this case. He said, with your assumptions, with your current beliefs about food and health and body, if you start eating like me, you are going to have health problems. So what you're going to do first is you change your assumptions. You realize that nothing outside of you can harm you. The harm comes from the inside, which means your imagination, your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, your imaginal acts, etc. That is what can harm you. Nothing on the outside of your body has the power to harm you or your body if you don't have the assumption. So first you change the assumption, and then you can eat whatever you like. And Neville did this, of course. He didn't continue eating as limited as he was, etc. So change the assumptions and change the way he was living. As I read this story and, learned many other things from Neville Goddard, I started thinking to myself, why am I thinking these things about specifically carbs in this case that I like? So my problem is not that I'm eating carbs. My problem is that I'm thinking that this is bad for me because my body has the power to manifest whatever I want, regardless of food, which is the outside thing. So I started telling myself on a very regular basis, nothing from the outside can harm me. The only thing that can harm me are my thoughts, my assumptions, etc. And now that I know that, I will not think harmful thoughts. So I started literally changing my assumptions about sugar, about carbs in general, everything that I would eat. As I would eat it, I would say, this is so good for my body. This is keeping me healthy. This is keeping me thin. And that removed all the guilt also, because I also realized that every time I would put something delicious in my mouth, I would, in the back of my mind, there was this voice going, oh, great job. Now you're going to get fat. And I realized and this voice had been there for a long time, to the point that I didn't even notice it until I started working with my thoughts, because it was just this normal thing that was always there. And once I started noticing it, I realized that this is uncomfortable. It's making me uncomfortable. Every time I eat food, instead of enjoying it, I feel guilty. And the guilt was always in the back of my mind. It was a background thing. It wasn't in my face, so I wasn't even noticing it. So I changed that. I had a period where literally anything I was eating, I would, regardless of it being vegetables or sugar, or, chocolates or any kind of carbs, anything I have learned that shouldn't be good for you. So the background voice disappeared, of course. What happened then? Couple of years after that, or a year after that, I really don't remember the times, but sometime after that I changed my assumptions. Someone again asked me to do this no carb challenge, and even though I had told myself I'm never going to do that ever again, it was horrible, for some reason, and I genuinely don't remember the reason, I said yes. This person said, I'm going to do it for 2 months. And I thought I'm not going to do it for 2 months, but I will probably do it for 1 month. Let me just do half of what you do. We start at the same time and you do you. I will do it for a month. I genuinely have no idea why I did that, because it was the same horrible experience. I don't recommend this, by the way. It's stupid, and it's stick to manifestation, and you will see in a moment why. I will prove to you that manifestation is the best way to get results in anything. So I started eating the exact same way that I had done a few years earlier in that 10-day no-carb challenge. I kept it for a month. I have no idea how I did it because it was horrible. Why would I do something like that to myself? I don't know. It was horrible. By the end of that month, now keep in mind that back then it was 10 days losing 4 kilograms. This was 30 days. I kept it for a freaking month. By the end of that month, I had lost no weight. Absolutely no weight. Doing the exact same thing that I had done a few years earlier with a different set of assumptions about the food that I was eating. And that was a really bad surprise because I was expecting something to happen. I don't know. I don't even know why I was expecting something to happen, but I was disappointed. I have to say, I was disappointed. I had lost absolutely no weight in 30 days of doing this stupid challenge. And this was a big lesson for me, one of many, that doing physical action in order to achieve something, first of all, it's not going to do anything because your assumptions are going to manifest. Because now I had the assumptions that carbs, no carbs, it's not good or bad. It's like if it's outside my body, it can't change my body. It can't do anything to me. That was my new story, that nothing on the outside can do anything for my body because it all depends on my assumptions. And second of all, it's a struggle. Taking action in order to achieve anything, unless you actually enjoy the action, you do it because you enjoy it. Unless that's the case, it's going to be a struggle. And you guys know it. I know that you know it. If you're doing in order to get to some place or gain something, that physical action is going to be a struggle. And once again, referring back to my playlist on not taking physical action when you're manifesting. Because I took the same action with different assumptions. Both times the assumption manifested. So, and then during this, I don't remember if I'm telling you an old story. This is ancient story. I had completely forgotten that I had done this, and it came up during a conversation. I thought this will be a good video. I came across a video, a small clip from one of Joe Dispenza's seminars. I have seen this video at least 10 years ago. I'm going to tell you the story. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, if anyone happens to have the video, you're very welcome to link it down below for other people who want to hear it from him. If you know anything about Joe Dispenza, he is very big on studies, scientific studies that prove manifestation. All his work is based on different studies that simply prove that it's mind over matter. There's nothing physical that will ever win over your mind. And this was, again, the reason I'm sharing this particular story is because this was, again, the same topic of food and body and how the body reacts to food. And he's also very big on healing. So what he tells in this short clip is that the scientific part of the manifestation, meaning the scientific part, let's pretend I didn't say that. The bridge of events, the physical things that need to happen in order for your assumption to manifest, will happen and it will figure itself out. Meaning, if your body, in order to either lose weight or gain muscle or heal or whatever, in this case, losing weight, gaining muscle, becoming fit, etc., if it needs a certain amount of carbohydrates, a certain amount of proteins, a certain amount of vitamins, etc., it will take care of even that. They had done a study on people who were manifesting some kind of health. I don't exactly remember what it was, health or weight loss, getting lean, etc. And this study had shown that when you have the assumption that you are, for example, thin, or you're losing weight, or you are fit, or you are healthy, or whatever, and in order for that to be reality, your body would need, again, a certain amount of proteins, amongst other things. If with those kinds of assumptions, you eat only carbs, you eat, let's say, pasta, which is mostly carbs. It has protein, by the way, bad example. Anyway, you eat carbs, and your body needs more protein than it was present in the food that you would eat. The cells of your bodies are capable of turning some of that carbohydrates into protein in order to make your assumption become true. So regardless of what you put in your mouth, your assumptions are still going to manifest in the most physical sense. You eat whatever, your assumptions still matter. And if for those assumptions to become physically true in your body needs a different set of stuff, more protein, more of this vitamin, more of that mineral, whatever is present in your cells in that moment, your body will turn this into protein, that into vitamins, etc., in order to make your assumption true in your body. And this is how we manifest healing. This is how we manifest weight loss, weight gains for some people, muscle gain. Some people manifest growing taller. Some people manifest becoming shorter, whatever your desire is. The important thing to remember is your assumptions. And if you have limiting beliefs about food, about other things that may be related to your health, don't ignore the assumptions and say, oh, okay, assumptions don't matter, so I can eat whatever. Because if you have the assumptions that this type of food is bad for you and that type of food is bad for you, that assumption is still going to manifest in your body. Remember what Abdullah said to Neville. With your limiting beliefs, don't start just eating whatever you want. Work with your limiting beliefs. You can do this while you can do two things at once. But assumptions matter. So if you keep your limiting beliefs and you start eating the things that you think are bad for you, that is going to manifest. So I don't recommend that. No matter what you do, work with your assumptions. And I hope that these stories that I shared in this video gave you the proof that you needed to take your assumptions more seriously than you do with physical action. And yes, we are all used to living in a way where you need to take action to make things happen. And you can take the same action 1,000,000 times with those same assumptions. You will get the same results that you don't want if the assumptions are assumptions that you don't want to manifest. So no matter what you do, it's mind over matter. It's your mind over your body. It's your mind over your actions. It's your mind over whatever you do. Now, this video was all about food and body, but the same things apply to your money situation, to your relationships, to your anything that you are manifesting. So I really hope that this was encouraging for you, of course, and keep doing your mental work because that is the most important thing. And let me know your thoughts about all this that I shared in this video in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can, of course, book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I would love to help you with anything that you are manifesting. You can also join my Master Manifestor Mastermind group. In that case, please send me an email from my booking page. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.